Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from Relative Security. This is our third video for our SOC analyst course, and in the last video we discussed about the SOC. Before that it was an introduction video, but after the second video we suggested that you guys go ahead and watch two videos in this channel. One was related to what is SIEM and the other one was related to what is SOC. Both videos are like prerequisite for the upcoming discussions that we will be doing. They will give you enough background knowledge that will be required afterwards. We will still be touching some of the points, some of the topics that we have discussed in those two videos, but those two videos are quite in detail what the topics we will be discussing afterwards. For example, in the SIEM video, that video which we are referring is very detailed video, but we will not be going into that much detail in this video, because in this one we want to keep the focus on the SOC analyst and its processes and everything. So moving ahead, since we talk about the process, this particular video is also going to be discussing the process within a SOC. For example, if you go into any environment, be it your current job, be it your other office, if you have any government department maybe, or any private institution, every place has some process in place for achieving certain goals. To perform certain tasks, they have defined some processes. And those processes are very important and they become key to success within certain scenarios. If you do not know the process, how to follow that process in any organization, it will be very difficult to complete your task, or especially coordinate within the teams outside of your particular department. So in this particular video, we will be discussing about most of the processes that you can expect within any SOC. You can be asked of certain scenarios in an interview question where these processes can help you to build up your answers. Secondly, we will be talking about alerts, investigations, incidents, and a little bit of reports. We will try to make a separate video for the report. But for now, we will move ahead and talk about the first process that is going to be, let me see. So there you go. This is the main slide, and that's the only slide in this one, which you will have to remember. So the first thing that we will be discussing and that you need to know about is the alerts. What is an alert? If somebody asks you in an interview question that what is an alert, the one and only job that anybody is expecting from a level 1 SOC analyst, it's an industry practice, I would say, is that the SOC L1 is going to monitor alerts. So alerts, alarms, notifications, offenses, in some cases, in some of the scenarios, you can call them offenses. Be it any name, is it alert, alarm, offenses, notification? These are the basics of your SIEM solution, of your monitoring tool. This is from where you will start your work. Whenever you open your XYZ tool, for example, a SIEM solution, the main screen a SOC L1 analyst is going to see is the alerts. Now, what are these alerts? How they are being generated and how do they end up on your screen is something that we will be discussing in the technology part of the SOC video. And it will give you more details on the background of that, what is an alert. For now, we will call it as a couple of notifications, a list of different certain tasks that need to be done. Now, please note that there is another platform known as SOAR that is around the automation of certain tasks within the SOC. Why do we need the automation of these things? Because there is a terminology known as alert fatigue. This might be the question in your SOC interviews as well. So the alert fatigue is the overburdening of L1 analysts in terms of the number of alarms or the number of alerts that they have to handle in a certain period or in a certain amount of time. For example, if you have a SOC, very basic SOC, and you have 2 or 3 L1 analysts, however, you are receiving daily around 500, 600, or 700 alerts per day. That makes around 200 alerts per day for one analyst, which is impossible for that person to solve or resolve or do the proper investigation. Now, this is alert fatigue, where there are too many alerts to be monitored, too many alerts to be addressed and investigated. However, there aren't many resources available for that. To address this challenge, we use the tool SOAR, where we can define that the basic alerts or the well-known alerts that are coming on daily basis, either they be fine-tuned or they get automatically resolved or they get automatically assigned to relevant teams so that the L1 person doesn't have to go ahead and investigate those. Other than this, another use case is all those pet procedures where you know that if there is a phishing email alert coming in and you are sure that the alert that is being raised by the SIM solution, it's not going to be a false positive, you can make sure that your SOAR team automatically follows the procedure that is put in place in your organization. That is fed into that platform, the SOAR platform, and that takes care of it. For now, what you need to understand is the baseline is that the first screen that the SOC analyst is going to see is the alert, which is a list of notifications of certain activities within your environment which you are monitoring. Sorry. The second thing is assignment. Now, let's say in a SIM solution, in one day, there are 600 alerts, 700 alerts that have been triggered. All those alerts need to be assigned to someone. Who is going to do the assignment? The assignment can be done by the team lead of the SOC. It could be an L3 engineer or it could be a SOC manager, depending on how your SOC has been designed and who are the people involved in that process. For now, what we will do is this alert has been assigned to you. Now, the alert can be assigned based on the priority. It could be based on severity, or it could be based on the skills. Maybe the L3 decides that there's a new person that has been hired. He doesn't want to assign him the critical or the P1 priority 1 alerts to the new guy because they want some experienced person to see. So this is all subjective. Who is going to assign the alerts to which person? And it can be done by any relevant person within the SOC. So now you have two things done. One, you had the list of alerts which were not assigned at the moment. Now those alerts have been assigned to you and your colleagues. What is the next process? The next process is triage. In this one, what you're going to do is, we will take the example of the hospital. In an emergency department, what happens is, when you go ahead and you reach the emergency department, usually the nurse, they will check you. They will take the temperature and they will check the basics: blood pressure, temperature, maybe one or two more artifacts they will, or the values they will collect from your body, and they will assign you certain level of urgency, and they will ask you to wait for it, wait for the doctor to call you. Now this is the triage. The same thing is going to happen on your end when you are doing the investigations, or when you're about to start doing the investigation. You will do the triage, a quick overview of all the assigned tasks. This will help you filter out the critical ones, the ones that need deep investigation, or the one that can quickly be checked, and then you can decide, okay, these are the ones which will not take that much of a time. These are the ones which will need further investigation, just to sort out those alerts that have been assigned to you. Sort out those alarms that have been assigned to you in different categories. Like, this is the one that can take less than 5 minutes. This is the one like maybe more than half hour, these kind of things. This triage will help you to focus on the high priority alerts. It will help you to weed out the low level alerts, and it will reduce the number of alerts that need your major part of the focus. Once you have triaged that, now you have a subset of the alarm that need further investigation. Investigation is the analysis of the particular alarms that have been assigned to you. For example, there is a list of alerts in which there were brute force, in which there were lateral movement related alerts, and then there were some alerts related to the phishing. You will start the investigation. In the investigation, you will try to answer the 5 W's: what, when, why, where, and who. Why this alert was triggered, who caused it, what was it, or what is the message that this alert is trying to convey to me, where was this alert triggered, which were the machines that were involved in this, how did it get triggered. These all questions you will have to solve. Now, I will not go into the detail of the analysis, that how do you do the analysis of certain alerts and everything, because we will have a separate use case studies afterwards. When we will install the SIM and everything, we will do those investigations over there. But right now, just a quick overview that you have the alerts, those will get assigned to you, and then you have to do the triage, and then you get into the real investigation of that particular alert. Why was it triggered? What caused it to be triggered? And what are you going to do about it? Now, there are different outcomes of this thing. Once you are investigating a particular alarm, the first output can be it's a false positive, and it can be closed. For example, you see that a user account was used at a new machine. Maybe it's a use case and it got triggered. You got assigned to this task, to this alarm. You did the triage, and then you said, okay, I will check it. And you check that the new login that you are investigating is from an admin. And you already knew maybe that this was going to happen. Maybe the client informed you already that there is a new machine that we are installing, and this XYZ particular user account is going to log into it. Now, based on this information, you can close the case as false positive, true positive, or whatever category that you assign to it, because category is important. And this all we will discuss afterwards, that how do you assign the categories and everything. So the first output is that you investigated, you analyzed the alert, and you decided to close it as a false positive. What happens if you are investigating an alert and you do not have enough information from the logs, and you need to confirm certain activities from the client. Now you will create a ticket in whatever system you're using to track your investigations, and you will assign that ticket to the client. Now, I am taking this assumption that the particular SOC we are talking about has this ticketing system. If you guys do not have a ticketing system, the right thing would be that you will email the client, or whatever procedure has been decided between the client and your SOC, you can follow that procedure to get the confirmation from the client that this activity has been observed in your environment via our SOC. Can you confirm that if this is a known activity, if this is a known activity, or it is something that is not known to you, and we can continue our investigation. So one output is client confirmation. Another could be that you see that this particular XYZ alert is triggering again and again and again, and the number of alerts that have been triggered so far, all of them are false positive, all of them are giving less information, more information, or whatever it is, and you can assign that to the detection engineering team. The role of detection engineering team is to fine-tune the use cases, fine-tune the detection strategies that are actually triggering the alerts. If you see that a particular detection strategy or particular use case is triggering a lot, and every time it is being closed as false positive or as a noise, you need to assign those alerts to the detection engineering team so that they can re-evaluate the logic of that particular detection strategy and update it. Another output of your analysis could be that you need further information this time, but you do not need it from the client. This time you may need more information from your cyber threat intelligence team. For example, you are investigating an alert, and in that alert you find certain artifacts that were, as per your knowledge, related to some ransomware, but you do not have enough information about it to actually decide on the alert that has been assigned to you. Now, to understand more about that attack, you may decide to assign that ticket to cyber threat intelligence team to ask them for further information about whatever artifacts that you have collected to decide that if this alert is a false positive or a true positive. Another option would be, or another procedure would be that you can follow is that you have done your investigation, but you're still not sure that what exactly is happening here. You can escalate that particular process to the L2 level resource. L2 level resource will then further investigate, and if they were able to solve it, they would come back and they will solve the case. If they are unable to solve the case, they will raise that ticket further to the L3 level of resources, and then the chain goes up and up as per the process within. Last thing I want to discuss is, for example, if you are investigating an issue and you are certain that this XYZ activity is very, very dangerous and it is confirmed malicious, you can immediately talk to your seniors and initiate the process of incident response. You can engage with the IR team, give them enough information, tell them that what has been observed, and so that they can take the lead and they can start the incident response process. So these are the different or certain processes that you need to understand, or these are the different tasks that you need to understand once you have done your investigation of the alerts. So just to quickly summarize that what happens within the SOC, or what you should be expecting, is you need to know about what is alerts, how are they being triggered, and what happens to those alerts. Those alerts get assigned, somebody does the triage, and then those need to be analyzed. The analysis outcome could be the closure of the ticket, the closure of the investigation. It could be sent to client or any other team for the confirmation if there is any information missing, or you can raise it with the detection engineering team for further fine-tuning of the alert, or you can raise it with the incident response team. So this discussion that we just had, it's a very basic discussion. And as a SOC analyst person, you need to understand these processes, and you need to understand why certain process has to be followed at a certain stage. Now, during this process, you will have to communicate with different teams, just like we have discussed, or you will have to inform the management or the client of whatever activity happened within that one alert that was assigned to you. And to inform those people, including client, you will have to prepare the reports where you will add every investigation step that you have taken, and what are your conclusions, or what are your best judgment opinion that you can share with the management. So that's the end of our video today. So I hope that you like this video, because this is our third video for the SOC analyst course, where we are discussing the process that one SOC analyst should be expecting when they are joining any SOC. And I hope that the outcome scenarios from the analysis that we discussed, they were really helpful for you guys. And if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you so much.